Third phase of moon.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins, and we're live via Google Hangouts with Dr. J. Andy Elias and Jimmy Church from Fade to Black Radio. He submitted some incredible images from Google Earth next to Malibu, underneath the Pacific Ocean, what looks to be a massive alien base. Jimmy Church, welcome to Third Phase of Moon. And tell us, how did you come across this image that we're sharing with the viewers right now?
Well, originally we got the, I get email every single day, just like you do, from listeners on the show asking us to investigate certain things. We probably get, the volume isn't like what you get, but probably 50 emails a day. I get this email anonymously. I got his first name, and he didn't want to use his last name. His name was Maxwell. He sent us one image, and he said, there's something here. Can you and the team go and see what's here? And that's how that happened. That happened on May 11th. And me and the team here went deep, as you can see, and that's how the discovery was made. We announced it to the world the next day on May 12th.
Absolutely. We put it up on Third Phase of Moon just a few days ago, and it's up to about 140,000 hits just on Third Phase alone. So millions of people around the world are having their eyes spotted right over there in Malibu. Dr. J, what did you think of these images when we shared them on Third Phase?
This Google Earth image of what we saw in Malibu, honestly, this could be disclosure happening. This internet that they've given us is actually a double-edged sword. On one hand, we're feeding them information. On the other hand, we have tools like Google Earth that are uncovering things. First there was that Antarctica thing, but now, of course, we have what's happening in Malibu. So absolutely, this could be one of the biggest things, and as Mr. Church was said, the aha moment that we're waiting for.
Well, what's interesting is people on Third Phase, and there's some websites out there that are saying, oh, this is debunked, this is not true, this is fake. There's a distortion in the Google image, and we're looking at it. Jimmy, you've done a lot of research on this, and there's multiple angles that we're looking at right now that disprove the theory that this is fake. This is actual real imagery. Tell us about your more expertise, more in-depth investigation into these images.
Yeah, exactly. What we did here at Jimmy Church Radio, Fade to Black, the main concern for us, and I've been talking to mainstream media all week. There's a couple of things that are going to be coming out this week in the mainstream. Third Phase was mentioned in all of this too. But the point that we had to make from the very get-go was the integrity of my show, Fade to Black, the integrity of myself personally, Dale Romero, Maxwell, Dark Matter Radio Network, Keith Rowland, Art Bell. Our integrity is what's most important. So we had to make sure from the get-go that we disclosed the coordinates. We didn't manipulate the files. That everything that we released was as anybody else could go and see for themselves. And with all of that, with the care that we made public on everything and on every aspect, including our names, that nothing was manipulated. And with all of that, we still have people coming back saying, oh, it's a hoax. This is Photoshop. It's manipulated. These aren't real images. This is wrong. And I saw the same postings from your video, Blake, which was my images. And I knew from the beginning, and I thought, this sucks for Blake and Third Phase and for everybody else, because the debunkers out there and the disinfo people and the trolls are going to go out and say these things when they don't go investigate for themselves, which was our intent from the very, very beginning. I just read email again this morning. I went to Google Earth. I looked at this. These images are photoshopped. It's impossible. We have done this from the very, very beginning. Integrity here is key. Blake and Dr. J, this ufology is a very touchy subject for everybody. All of this, yourself, myself, our show, our team, producers, Andy and his show, we're all rolling that rock uphill. That's what we're doing all day long. We're the 1%er. 99% of the world thinks we're wrong. So we're always fighting against the system. I get that. And that's why we made sure the images we released to you, to the public, to mainstream media, were completely unfiltered, unmanipulated, the very same images anybody else can see. And with all of that, we still have the craziness out there calling us nuts.
Well, that's the nature of this. People will start to troll when they don't understand what's going on. The implications of these images are quite startling. And, you know, Dr. J. Andy Elias, we've had Preston Dennett on the show many times, and he's always referred to UFOs exiting and entering the Pacific right there next to Malibu. Dr. J, what are the implications and now these images coming out?
Yes, as you mentioned, Preston, he's been the worldwide USO expert on this. And if you recall last year, he brought us this case of, in Catalina, over 200 Boy Scouts and Boy Scout troops and their counselors and parents witnessed over 200 craft over an 8-hour period of 8 different shapes. And they were going in and out of the water, playing around the sky. And then there was that famous case in the 90s where over 100 ships came out of the ocean followed by a giant vessel. And then, of course, there's several other, smaller cases where one giant disc goes in and maybe a small capsules come out. It's always been going back and forth. So I definitely think that there's something there. And Preston's been talking about this for years, and this might be the actual proof that we've needed.
No, I want to get both of you guys' opinions. Let me start with Jimmy. What's your down gut feeling of what this structure is? Is it man-made? Is it alien?
I look at it, I'm split right down the middle, and this is it. No matter what it is, it's a fantastic discovery. No matter what it is. Let's just say it is a 2.5 mile by 1.5 mile natural formation supported by pillars that somehow that happened naturally. You know what? Fantastic discovery. Fantastic. Let's go check it out. That's that side. The other side of it is, if it is man-made, not natural, then certainly this could be the biggest case in discovery going back to Roswell and Kenneth Arnold, maybe Rendlesham, or anything else that you want to throw into it. This could potentially be all of that. I want to make a point. After you guys were on the show last week, we had on Courtney Brown, who is runs the Farside Institute, remote viewing. And right before Courtney was coming on the show, my producers had sent me an email from another remote viewer. His name was Ed Reardon, and he had posted a video on, that's how far-reaching this story has gotten. It's just gotten all over the world, right? Well, it was selected for him to remote view. Now, he doesn't know when you remote view, he has no idea what the target is or anything. But you go and you watch this video, and sure enough, he remote views a tunnel. He remote views a door going back to a cavernous room inland. Now, he didn't remote view what you just drank from, Blake. He didn't remote view a coffee cup. He didn't remote view a Volkswagen. He didn't remote view a kindergarten class. He remote viewed a huge door with a tunnel leading back to a large room. That's scary, and that's why I think that there's something much more to this, and there's a reason why it's been on Google Maps for years. Why hasn't anybody investigated? Why isn't there more clear images by Google or the government? Why isn't it mapped correctly on geographical survey maps? Why isn't it there when you can clearly see it? This is not, I want to make this very clear to everybody that's watching this video right now and listening to us. This is not 10 foot by 10 foot. This is not 50 feet by 50 feet. This is a 2.5 mile anomaly. 2.5 miles. It's 1,400 feet tall with a 500-foot roof. This is not some accident by sonar. This isn't some pixelization accident from a satellite image. That's not what we're dealing with here. It is huge. So if it is huge and natural, then that's fantastic. If it's huge and unnatural, we've got us a serious explosive story.
Dr. J, your opinion of this structure?
Yeah, having a structure that's 2.5 miles wide and pillars that are 600 feet, and they're so perfect. There's no way nature could create something that is so perfectly aligned, perfectly separated, and that just doesn't happen. If you want to see what nature creates, look at the Grand Canyon. There's your example. This thing obviously is artificial. This was made by someone. Now, so knock out the one possibility of the natural. There's two possibilities left. Either extraterrestrial or man-made. Now, let's talk about man-made first. According to our civilian science, we don't have the capabilities of creating something underwater that big on such a scale and to go unnoticed. Have you ever heard of these giant construction firms on the coast of Malibu doing anything like this? I sure haven't, so that definitely is not a possibility. If it is a possibility, it could be because of all the alien artifacts that they've created that's making these underground bases. Now that's the man-made option. The extraterrestrial option, which may be more fitting, is that this just proves what Preston's been talking about, that there are extraterrestrial bases camped right out there in the Catalina Channel between Los Angeles Harbor and Catalina, including Malibu, of course, where the structure is, and this could be where the ETs are always going in and out of from. Going back to the man-made thing, this may very well be, if it is the man-made thing, and it's proven to be that, this is where the underground rails are connecting all the bases, Area 51, Edwards, Vandenberg. So that's what I think. I'm on the fence of man-made or extraterrestrial. I'd like to think it's extraterrestrial, but it could be one of the two. Definitely not nature.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of people that have shared information in regard to this imagery. People are pointing out that this could be a connection right to Area 51 via these underground railways. Dr. J, I really want to thank you for joining us on Third Phase of Moon.
Yes, of course, always.
And Jimmy Black, I really appreciate you sharing again this incredible image that you shared to the world. Incredible discovery. Jimmy, any last words for the Third Phase of Moon viewers and listeners?
It's funny that you said Jimmy Black instead of Jimmy Church. I like that. Maybe I'll change my name. But I want to say this, and you touched upon this. I'm going to take a couple extra minutes. So let me indulge. The witnesses that have been going on for decades from Marina Del Rey heading north to where we have discovered this, the investigations, not only with Preston Dennett, but Bill Burns and yourself, and the sightings have been there, but there hasn't been any confirmation of anything. It's like, okay, they've been egressing out of the water and entering the water, but to where? But this is the first time for everybody. Every researcher that I have contacted on this has had the same thing, an aha moment where they're going, oh, finally. You know, it's here, and it has never been there before for all of these researchers. It's a big relief. Now, we are going to find out. We're going to head out. We're going to head out with a boat, and we are going to submerge some cameras. We're going to get under there. It's too deep for a submarine. But I've got plenty of help. We are working towards that. Hopefully within the month, we're going to get out there and find out. Now, this is what I wanted to mention. It's its proximity to Port Hueneme. Area 51, Hawthorne, the Deep Undersea Weapons Warfare Center, which is in Nevada for some reason. But there's been rumors about these tunnels for a long time. Now, let's suppose it's not an ET connection. Then suddenly we're confirming something maybe even more crazy, which is our government has a tunnel system underneath the United States. Maybe it's used by both. Maybe we stole it from ET. You don't know. We just don't know. But I really appreciate all of us trying to get together and getting the work out. And it's a tough subject, but together we can all find a solution to this. And I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Hey, thank you, Dr. J. And we will be doing dinner this week, my brother. All right. Thank you, Blake. Say hi to your brother for me.
We'll do, Jimmy Church. Thank you very much. We're going to have his link below, Fade to Black Radio Show. Everybody check it out. And if anybody out there has captured anything incredible like Jimmy, submit it to Third Phase. Share it with us. Share it with the world. My name is Blake Cousins, and we'll see you again next time.
By popular demand, we are pleased to announce the Third Phase of Moon album is finally featured on iTunes. With all your favorite songs and themes you hear on the top UFO channel on YouTube, Third Phase of Moon. out-of-this-world soundtracks composed by master artist Paul Barrett. With 12 remastered and extended cuts to enjoy. Download them now, exclusive on iTunes. Click the link in the description below. Now listen for yourself, heard by millions around the world, Paul Barrett's album, Third Phase of Moon.